Hello everyone and welcome back to my favourite room in the house. Another very special edition of Ronnie Trickshot's action figure dribble coming at you today, and I want to show off a care package I've received from another friend of mine, Nate the RetroTinker. The story is that I traded Nate for a whole bunch of Star Wars figures. I sent him some G.I. Joes, he sent me some Star Wars figures, because lately he has been enabling an obsession that I have with Star Wars. I got myself a Disney Plus account and I am catching up on all of the TV series. Ahsoka, The Mandalorian, Obi-Wan, all of them. Rogue One the movie, Han Solo the movie, I'm watching the lot. The Acolyte, everything. The Book of Boba Fett, I've been watching all of them, and Nate has been talking his way through them, and he had some spare Star Wars figures, which he sent to me in this box, which is originally a box for activated charcoal mouthwash, which is interesting, but it must have been fate, because look at these beautifully packed Star Wars vintage and retro collection figures. Let's get them out one by one and have some fun. So let's start with this little baggie. And Nate said he sent me an actual vintage Star Wars figure, which I was looking forward to seeing because I don't have any of these. So this was pretty exciting for me. And this figure is Lando Calrissian, I think. He's in a particular outfit. I'm not sure what outfit that is called, but maybe you can help me in the comments below. His foot's a bit munted, but that doesn't matter. He's certainly got a little bit of playwear, but I'm happy to have a vintage figure in my collection. I'm just looking for a date on here, maybe 1982. So this figure is as old as me, which is very cool. I actually have a Lando in my collection already. I bought him a couple of weeks ago. I think this is the retro collection or the vintage collection. I don't know. I'm far from an expert. I just grabbed them off the shelf and opened them up because they're really cool. So now I have two Landos, an old one and a new one. This Lando has a beautiful cape, as you can see, and a blaster. He looks amazing. So thank you for the vintage version, Nate. That is very cool. He can kick around with my relatively modern Lando in the Star Wars section of my cabinet. Now let's have a look at these carded figures, and I'm just going to delve into the box that Nate sent and pick them out at random. We'll see what we have here first. Drum roll, please. Alright, we have, this is a good one to start with. This is Obi-Wan Kenobi, the Wandering Jedi. Obviously, this is what Obi-Wan looks like during the Obi-Wan TV series, the much younger Ewan McGregor version. And this is a retro collection figure. Looks pretty cool if you ask me, so I'm going to open him up straight away. Let's have a look at the back here, all the regular Star Wars rigmaroles on the back. This one will actually complete this entire wave for me. I've actually got all of these figures now, I reckon. One might even be in the box that Nate sent me, which we'll get to, but I'll show you the other ones as I get to them. So without any further ado, let's open up Mr. Obi-Wan, and I have my knife here. Gonna be very careful, try not to harm myself or the action figure in the making of this video. I'll pop it straight open. Just down the other side. Here we go. Almost there. Alright, there's the card back. Just chuck that back there. Cool. Alright, there's the old double bubble. And Hasbro instructions, which I don't need. And pop Obi-Wan out. Looks pretty cool. Oh. Look at that soft goods cape here, or what would you call that? A cloak, I reckon? With a hood, maybe? Does the hood go over his head? It would have to, surely. Very cool. Very, very cool. Whoa, it looks very spooky. Underneath, yeah, it's definitely like the 80s style, but a little bit different to the Lando that I had out before. The Lando obviously looks a bit more modern in its sculpt and articulation. So the retro is obviously a callback to the original figures, like this Lando figure that I had with the old 5 points of articulation. So look, I'm just happy to have an Obi-Wan in my collection, and I traded for some G.I. Joes, so I got him for free. This is very cool. Thank you, Nate. He looks wild. I should kit him up with some accessories, hey? So he has his blue lightsaber here, which I'll chuck in one hand, because you can't have him defenseless against the dark side in my cabinet. Put it in his left hand. Are you left-hander, Obi-Wan? Well, you are now. Does the blaster go in that pocket? I think it does. Can you see the holster on his thigh? Looks pretty cool. I'll get the blaster out and I'll put that in there. It's a beautiful little blaster. Whoa, very, very small, so I've got to be careful. It's a nice little blaster, as you can see. Very detailed for such a small little weapon. Pretty cool. Alright, so I'm going to put that into his holster. If it fits, or is that just a molded? No, that's just molded, I reckon. So it doesn't look like the weapon fits in there. That's very interesting. Oh well, it was worth a thought. So we'll just chuck it in his hand, I guess. And let's have it in his hand. So obviously Obi-Wan during the series was looking after a very young Luke and Leia, and yeah, somewhat of a prequel to the main 3 movies. It was, yeah, I enjoyed it. It was a good, fun watch, and some of the other characters in there, some of the Jedi hunters are awesome too. We'll get to them very shortly. So that's Obi-Wan. He is very, very cool. Okay, let's have a look at the next figure that Luke sent me. I got Star Wars on the brain. It was Nate. It was Nate that sent me this stuff. Nate the RetroTinker. Make sure you check out his channel after you finish watching this video. He does some awesome stuff. Lots of customs, lots of figure repairs, lots of really funny stuff with funny voiceovers. He's a legend. But next figure he sent me, let's have a look. I'm just going to dip my hand into the box and pull one out at random. This is a good one too. This is from Obi-Wan Kenobi. This is Reva, the third sister, and I am pretty chuffed to have her because she's sort of in Obi-Wan Kenobi in a gang of 3. She hangs around with the Grand Inquisitor and the 7th brother or the 5th brother. I can't remember what his name is, but I've got both of those figures and I'll show you them now. There's the 5th brother. I think it's the 5th brother. See, he's got like a bin lid on his head. Interesting looking fellow, but he was a great character in the TV series. So that's one part of this threesome of assassins. And then there was the Grand Inquisitor, who was a creepy looking dude with not much hair on his head. So Reva is going to fit in beautifully with her 2 assassin teammates. Let's have a look at her packaging. Again, this is a retro figure, so she's going to work with both those 2 figures that I've already got. And the back has all the familiar gobbledygook. As I said, I'm working my way through this entire wave. So, oh yeah, his name is the 5th brother. There we go. Sorry for my lack of Star Wars knowledge here. All right, I'm going to pop her open as well. Got my trusty knife here. So we'll cut into this bubble. The bubble looks like it's a little bit cracked on this one. So I know Nate picked up some of these figures really cheap in a EB Games or a Zing sale. So it was really good of him to pass them on to me. Thank you, Nate. One man's spare action figure is another man's treasure. And I'll certainly treasure these. I'll put the card for Reva back there. Open the good old double bubble. The double bubble. Alright. Oh, she's extraordinary. Look at her. So she has a similar, well, I'll get that out first. She has a similar weapon to the Grand Inquisitor and the Fifth Brother, just without the full circle. Like, these things, they tended to rotate like so in the TV show. It was like their method of execution. It was kind of ghastly. But Reva doesn't have the full circle on hers. You can see there with the Grand Inquisitor, he's got the full circle on his double-ended lightsaber, which is interesting. But let's get Reva out. I like the look of her. She's got a vinyl cape. There's something, I reckon, I prefer the vinyl capes to the cloth capes. I don't know, they just look, they seem to sit better. They look a little bit nicer. Yeah, but she's really cool. Check her out. Really nice. Bit hard to see black figures on the camera. Yeah, all of these Inquisitors are dressed mainly in black, so it is pretty tricky under this lighting to pick up the detail. But she is amazing. All right, so we'll kit her up with her lightsaber. She's going to hold the lightsaber by the actual laser part of the lightsaber, only because I don't want to fiddle around too much with the hands on camera. But yep, that completes my trio of Inquisitors. That is very, very cool. Thanks again, mate. Okay, let's get another figure, and I'm going to pull one out completely at random, and this one, wow, is from the Book of Boba Fett, and this is, of course, the Wookiee named Chrysanthemum. Now, Chrysanthemum, I think, started out as, you know, maybe a bounty hunter or a guy who was out to get Boba Fett and his mates in the TV series, but ended up becoming an ally, and he was in some really mad fight scenes where he just showed his strength, and he was amazing, an amazing character. And I've got a Wookiee in my cabinet. I've got Chewbacca in there somewhere. I'll have to get him out at some point. I can't show him on camera because I didn't get him out in advance, but certainly Chrysanthemum will be able to hang around with Chewbacca and keep each other company and speak a bit of Wookiee, which I'm not going to do on camera. I won't subject you to that. So let's have a look at the back here. I'm not sure if I have any of these figures. I reckon I've got a Mandalorian figure. I'll grab him. I think this might be the one, and I've got to be careful because this Mandalorian, he tends to lose his weapons pretty easily. Actually, I've got two Mandalorians. I don't know which one the packaging is referring to here. I think it's probably this one. It's probably this one. This is the Retro Collection Mandalorian, and as you can see, he's lost his blaster because I don't know, his hands just seem a little bit big. Maybe I can rifle around in the container that I've got here and pick them out. Yeah, there's a blaster. Did he come with two or one? I can't remember. Maybe he came with two, because I know the Mandalorian had a rifle with this sort of fork set up on it. So there's that, and then there's his little blaster. And I don't know, there's something about his hands. They just tend to fall out. So I'm going to be careful about that. So yeah, obviously, I've got the Mandalorian. I have to look maybe for Fennec Shand. Chrysanthemum's here. I don't have a Tusken Warrior. I do have a Boba Fett. He's like one that came in a special pack with spare heads and so on and so forth. I got Boba Fett for a really good deal. He has a removable helmet. Here he is here. That's Boba. He looks amazing. So as I said, the helmet comes off, and you can see Temuera Morrison's face underneath. It does come off. I promise you it comes off. There we go. So that's a really nice figure. I think this is it's like a premium figure. Is that how you say it? It's got blast effects as well, which I've just managed to unplug a bit by accident. put that back in. But yeah, no, look, that Boba Fett, really cool figure. So awesome to be able to add Chris Santon to those two guys. All right, without any further ado, let's open up the big Wookiee. And I'm just going to pierce that bubble and carefully work my way around again. Hopefully without doing too much damage to myself, the card, or the figure. Some of the plastic I find is on these bubbles, some is like easy to cut and others is like really, really tricky to cut. Like, I think maybe when it's softer, it's a bit more flexible, so you can't get the blade in very easily. But sometimes when the plastic is a bit drier or a bit older, it pops open quite easily. So let's get Chris Santon out. There's a lot of plastic in this little 3.75 figure. This is amazing. So Chris Santon has a rifle, which is beautiful. Again, it's a bit tricky to grab the detail on black figures and accessories on camera, but I hope I've done a good enough job there for you. And we'll pop the figure out. Like, he is a chonker. He is awesome. Like, this is wild. Thank you so much, Nate. I don't think I would have been able to find this guy in the wild, so it's amazing that you've given me your spare. He looks superb. Look at that. Yeah. So I can't wait to stick him in the cabinet with Chewbacca. I'll put his rifle in his hands. There we go. And we'll stand him up back there with the Mandalorians, with Boba Fett and Din Djarin. Is that his name? I can't remember what the Mandalorian's name is. Din Djarin, something like that. It's a bit of a mouthful. I don't know. All right, we're going to go Lucky Dip again. I've got 4 figures to go. I'm just going to grab this one out. This is from the Ahsoka series, and this is none other than Sabine Wren. Only just finished watching Ahsoka, and I loved it. It was really, really cool. I don't have many Ahsoka figures yet, so you might have to go hunting around for some in the coming weeks and days. That'd be great to add to my Ahsoka figures, but I know Nate has given me a really good start here. So I've got, it says on the back here that Ahsoka, Morgan, the Assassin Droid, Marok, Sabine Wren, General Hera Syndulla, and Chopper are all part of this wave. I think I've actually got the Assassin Droid. I reckon that's it there. He's missing his spear. Is that what it is? A spear or a bow staff or something? There it is. I'll chuck that in his hand. So these are the Assassin Droids that protect Morgan during the TV series. So you got really spindly legs, but somehow still manages to stand up all right, which is amazing. So got the Assassin Droid, and I'll have to add some other figures to my Ahsoka collection as they come out. Sorry about the ring light glow on there. I am just an amateur. This is an amateur YouTube channel, and I should say, if you are enjoying what you see right here, feel free to hit the subscribe button. You might also hit the like button. You might also leave a comment. I love getting involved with the comments on my videos. All those things are the best way to support the channel, and they help get my videos to more people just like you. So anyway, let's open Sabine. Sabine was, of course, Ahsoka's long-lost Padawan from the TV series. And she was initially a bit of a rebellious sort of a type, but obviously became a strong ally for Ahsoka as the series wore on. It was awesome to see her develop as a character, and looking forward to seeing her in the second series. I'm not sure when that comes out, but Sabine's an awesome character because she's not only a Jedi, but she's also a Mandalorian, and I think that is a wonderful combination. This one might be a little bit trickier to get out because she's got a Mandalorian helmet in a separate bubble at the top here, so I might have to do a double cut job if that makes sense. So there's a little bit of surgery to be done here. Might just grab Sabine out to start with. That will give me a little bit more flexibility, I suppose. So we'll slice across there. Oh no, this will work. This should work. Just cut around that corner. This is a tricky one. Alright, should be able to ease the helmet out now. Oh, this is hard work. I don't want to break anything either. No. So this is one of those figures where the helmet actually goes onto the figure's head, which is pretty cool. There's the helmet, in case you were wondering. It's a beautiful Mandalorian helmet. Trying to make it focus. Just cut the rest of this bubble off so I can display the card like I have the others. Apologies for the delay. There we go. Easy done. We'll put Sabine's card there. Oh no! Boba Fett down. Alright. Chuck that down beside me. We'll stand Boba up again. Oh, look at that. Boba's really cool. Turn around, Mando. There we go. Alright, let's get Sabine out. So she's retro collection as well. So she'll fit in beautifully with all those other Mandalorian figures. Oh, this one, a bit tricky to get out. I'll grab her lightsaber first. So she has a nice green lightsaber and a couple of different coloured blasters here. Maybe I'll get the figure out first. Oh, come on, Sabine. Nice and securely. She's beautiful. Look at that purple hair. Obviously, she started the show with longer hair and then had a haircut at some point. Maybe, I think it was so she could put a helmet on from memory. Looks pretty cool with the helmet on. Or off. Like, she's beautiful. Beautiful Sabine Wren. That's very cool. Alright, now this is interesting because she has 3 accessories and it doesn't look like there is any spot on her person to store one of them. So I'm going to have to be careful not to lose either one of these blasters or her lightsaber, which is interesting. Maybe I can use the lightsaber for another figure I have in my cabinet that's missing one. I know my Yoda is missing a lightsaber. He'd love a lightsaber, so maybe I can give the green lightsaber to Yoda. But let's kit Sabine out with her blasters. There's 2 blasters. They look like they're the same sculpt, but they're different colours, as you can see. So one's yellow and one's blue. Pretty cool. I'm not sure if that was the case in the TV show, whether she had 2 different colour blasters. I'll have to go back and have a look. Or maybe you can tell me in the comments whether Sabine ran around with 2 different colour blasters. Because that, if she did, that's pretty cool. So one in one hand and one in the other hand. Oh, there we go. Sabine Wren, you legend. Just trying to get the blaster in her hand proper. It's just popping out a little bit. Yeah, it's not quite sitting flush. The arms are pretty stiff as well, but yeah, oh, crikey. Maybe we'll swap hands. I'll put the blue one on this one. There we go. No, she's just gonna hold it a bit different, I suppose. They're both sort of pointing inwards. No, but she looks alright. That's pretty cool. I pay that. So yeah, I'll obviously gift this lightsaber maybe to Yoda in my cabinet. But that's Sabine Wren. She is a very nice figure as well. I'll chuck her up there. And, I've knocked over the assassin droid. When did that happen? I must have missed myself do that. I'll put him in the back. Because he's got really, really skinny, janky legs. Alright, next figure. 3 to go. And the next figure I've just yanked out of the box is Morgan Elspeth. Morgan, of course, was Ahsoka's enemy in that Ahsoka series. She also made an appearance in, I can't remember whether it was the Book of Boba Fett or the Mandalorian. She made an appearance in one of those. We saw her get kicked out of her fortress, I suppose, by Ahsoka. It was an interesting sequence. Certainly enjoyed it. But Morgan is a great character. I'll pop her open straight away. No mucking around with Morgan. I've seen Morgan for sale in my local area over the last couple of weeks, but I haven't grabbed her knowing that Nate was making a gift of one to me. So very cool to have this one at long last. And thank you again, Nate, for all of the Star Wars goodness you have sent me here, and for all of the advice you've given me about Star Wars over the last few weeks. It's been wild. So I'll put Morgan's card up there. Now, Morgan doesn't appear to come with any accessories, which is interesting. I know for a time there she had a bladed weapon in the TV shows. That was, I think it was made from the Beskar steel. Is that what the Mandalorians call it? It was made from the steel that the Mandalorians use for their weaponry and their armor. But yeah, Morgan in this case doesn't appear to come with any accessories. It is just Morgan, but she's got a beautiful dress on, or they could be culottes. So you have a look here. Her legs divide, and it's like she's wearing flowing long pants. So it could be a dress, it could be pants, who knows? But that's Morgan. She's pretty cool, and the coloration on this one is very similar, obviously, to the HK assassin droid. So you can see that her and her droids are obviously in a very nice uniform together. So that's very cool. Morgan Elspeth, very, very cool. I will chuck her over here. She should be able to stand up pretty easy by herself. I hope she doesn't fall over there, because she'll fall directly into the path of the Inquisitor's lightsabers. But yeah, let's get out another figure. Okay, next figure, and this one I'm very, very, very excited about. This is the main character herself, Ahsoka Tano from Ahsoka, also featured in lots of other Star Wars TV shows and movies. I think, was she in any movies? I don't know. I have to rewatch the movies, go back and have a look at them. Yeah, I'm obviously late to the Star Wars party, but falling in love very quickly with it all, and it's been an amazing ride so far. But Ahsoka, definitely one of the more exciting characters from the line. She's amazing. I love her to bits. We looked at the back of Sabine's card before, and Morgan's card, and I've got the droid, I've got Morgan now, I've got Sabine, I've got Ahsoka. So I'm just going to be looking for Marok. I don't know who Marok is. General Syndulla and Chopper, the little droid. So a couple more to look out for. But without any further ado, let's open up the carded Ahsoka. She looks amazing, and like I said, I've just bumped the camera. Many apologies for that. Let's pop her off at the card here. Chop this bubble away. Just one more corner. Here we go. Opening action figures is so much fun. Like it takes you back to when you were a kid. Like just enjoy it so much. And I'm blessed to have friends that like sending me things as well. So let's have a look. The old double bubble. Oh, this one's a triple bubble, a bit like the old Delta 17 figure that opened the other day, and that's because she has a loose cloak here. The cloak is soft goods, but the figure itself very, very groovy. Let's have her out. So detailed, this one. But just the face paint and the paint apps around her head, which is very cool. Very, very cool. Love it. She's amazing. She is amazing. And of course she has 2 lightsabers here. They were both in the TV show. They were white lightsabers, so you couldn't miss Ahsoka. Or you couldn't miss her. Like most Jedi have coloured lightsabers, but Ahsoka's were white. So there was no way you were going to miss her if you were looking for her in the TV show. Well, she was the main character, so you weren't going to miss her anyway. But with white lightsabers, she just looked amazing. I'm going to put the cloak on her. There we go. Keep her warm. Maybe we'll put the hood down. Oh no, it seems like it just wants to stay up, which is interesting. I don't know. How do you display your Ahsoka figure? Do you display her with a cloak on or with a cloak off? I feel like I like the detail of the figure. Her arms are quite stiff here, which is interesting. Whoa, that's really tight. I didn't break it. Maybe the paint had stuck her armpit there, but oh yeah, both arms are really stiff, but they're freed up. Should I put the cloak back on? I don't know. Why not? Let's do it. Here we go. And I'll put her lightsabers into her hands. There's one, and there's the other one. She's an amazing figure. Look at that. Very cool. That is Ahsoka Tano. Thank you again, Nate. You legend. Put her next to her arch nemesis, Morgan Elspeth, over there. And we'll get out the very last figure. Okay, so this is the last figure. And I'm going to put it on the screen with the back showing first, because this one I feel like I really needed, considering I've fallen in love with the Mandalorian and I'm buying Mandalorians willy-nilly, and I'm not even kidding. Like, I've got this Mandalorian here, and I've got the Mandalorian armorer. So yeah, I'm going nuts for Mandalorians at the moment. I've even got Cobb Vanth in Boba Fett's armor. There he is there. That's pretty funny. Boba Fett's beaten up armor there. He's a cool figure, actually. Really like him. Love him. Oh, that's the judge. That's the Mandalorian judge. Like he presides over like a match between Grogu and another little Mandalorian kid. It's interesting. Oh, this is a Mandalorian as well. So this is Mandalorian at the start of the TV series before he got paid for a bounty and got all his really nice armor. So I've got a couple of Mandalorians. I've got more than a couple. I got a few Mandalorians. I'm going to be crazy with the Mandalorians. Have I got any more in here? I don't. But I have Ned B. So Ned B was from Ahsoka as well. Oh no, he was from Obi-Wan. Yeah, Ned B was from Obi-Wan. So you can never have too many droids. So I'll stick Ned B over here as well. Oh no. It was always going to happen, wasn't it? Let's stand some guys back up. Obi-Wan, you stand up. Oh no. Oh man. I'll be back in a sec. Okay, so everyone's standing up again. The other figure I wanted to show off was this guy. This is IG-11. He started off as a very bad assassin droid in The Mandalorian, but obviously became a hero in the end. He was an awesome character. Really loved IG-11. So feel like I've got almost the entire cast of The Mandalorian. I'm a very lucky boy. Who else have I got here? Oh, Moff Gideon, of course. Moff is the bad guy in The Mandalorian too, played by. Oh my gosh. This is the guy from Breaking Bad. Can't remember what his name is. Please tell me in the comments below. I feel like I should know what his name is because he is a very famous actor. but he played Moff Gideon, obviously, in The Mandalorian. So, yeah, got just about the entire cast of The Mandalorian here. Done really, really well. There's a remnant stormtrooper too. Here we go. That's pretty cool. So obviously there was a few stormtroopers left running around the galaxy in The Mandalorian after the fall of the Empire. So pretty cool to have a remnant stormtrooper there. But anyway, back to the last figure that Nate sent me. It is, of course, and I had to have this guy. It is Grogu, the legend himself, the beautiful, cute little Yoda-like figure from the Book of Boba Fett and The Mandalorian. He's just, he makes that show. He is amazing. So, without any further ado, I'm going to open him as well and see if we can set him up maybe with one of my Mandalorian figures. So that would be the right thing to do, I would have thought. I'm trying to do this as carefully as I can without breaking anything or knocking over all those figures I've managed to stand up all at once. Pop open. Alright. Almost there. Oh, there's just one corner left. Work my way into this. Almost there. Thank you for bearing with me. Do appreciate it. I hope this has been relaxing. I hope this has been entertaining. Wouldn't do it for any other reason, but to entertain my friends. All right. Let's open this very carefully. We have Grogu, yeah, of course. Little fella. See if he comes out. Yeah. He's very small, so I don't want to break him. Oh, look at that. He's super cute. Love him so much. One of the awesome things about TV shows is the TV show, his ears are so expressive. Like, sometimes they're down, sometimes they're up. They convey a lot of emotion, a lot of shock, surprise, a lot of sadness. Yeah, it's really cool. Obviously, in the TV show as well, Grogu, he liked levitating frogs, ostensibly for the purpose of eating them, I would have thought. But this figure comes with a little frog, which is very cool, and of course comes with a backpack, which I dare say I will be able to affix to one of my Mandalorian figures. I might have to work out how to do that off camera, but obviously Grogu fits in there quite snugly. There he is. And then this will obviously work its way around one of the figures. It's got some straps here that slide through, some tabs on the side. But yeah, it's a little bit rigid, a little bit stiff at the moment, so I might have to get some heat into that to be able to actually put it on the back of one of my Mandos. But yeah, you can see how that works. I might have to remove a head to get it on. I'm not sure how that'll work. Yeah, I'll have to have a play around with that. That'll be a little bit of fun for later, but for now, I'm just gonna leave him in the backpack by himself, right there in the middle of the shot. That's very cool. So that's all of them. That's all of the figures that I have to show off. So some of them I had already, 6 or 7 of them. How many? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. 7 of them came from Nate the RetroTinker, and I can't stress enough. Please go and check out his channel. He is a legend. Maybe even shoot him a message on Instagram at some point. He's a great bloke to talk to. Thank you so much, Nate. Like I said before, feel free to hit that subscribe button, hit the like button, leave a comment if you're that way inclined. I love getting involved in the conversation. I also have memberships on my channel, so if you feel like sending me $1.50 a month for no other reason except for you're a ripping bloke, feel free to do that, just like these blokes on screen are doing at the moment. Love every one of them. They're all YouTube creators themselves, so make sure you check their videos out as well. But look, that's all I've got time for today. May the Force be with you.